Hello. In today's Thing What Is, we're back. Dinosaur story or horrifying eldritch tale? We're back. Charming tale of a Brooklyn teen finding his way in the world. A horrifying missing persons tale. We're back. A tale of two eccentric brothers dancing around time and space itself. Or a horrifying tale about how one of them dies. I'm trying to figure out where I should be looking at the moment, and I think I should be looking at where the camera is, which is over here, and not where the screen is, which is over here. Which does make things a little bit difficult. Anyway, in today's Thing What Is, we are back. A dinosaur story. Dinosaur tale? Fuck, I should have remembered the title better. Anyway, that thing. It's got John Goodman in it, and that's about the only thing that's really noticeable. We did away with the title card. There was too high production value for this, weird shadows on my face, making me look better than I am, which is hard. That was weird. Isolation does funny things to a man. Anyway, okay, so the movie. I wanted to go over like this thing at the end, but I found it really weird and some inconsistencies, and like blow them out of proportion to make them seem like a big conspiracy or secret plot line. But it's really just a kids' movie, so I guess I'll go over the plot first. We have it starts really weird, like weird for a kids' movie about dinosaurs in Manhattan. On a golf course with a bunch of baby birds arguing, and the smaller bird has a Brooklyn accent and gets kicked out of the nest. Well, he doesn't really get kicked out of the nest. His brothers like beat him up, and the food goes away, and he gets upset, so he leaves the nest. And then, as he attempts to fly, he lands on a dinosaur who's doing golf, and is voiced by John Goodman. Wow. Anyway, this T-Rex introduces himself as Rex, and he tells the birdie he reminds him of his friend, and he goes into the story, begins narrating, and we flash back to the Jurassic era? Jurassic, yeah. There's this T-Rex chasing a small creature, and it looks very different animation. This is something I want to stress. The animation of the modern day and prehistoric is quite worlds apart. Like, one of them is made obviously cartoony, one of them is made to look sort of realistic, Land Before Time sort of realism. You get what I'm meaning? Like, it was still a cartoon, but like they tried to make everything not like cartoony. Things had proper edges, not like round. Like, I find that in cartoons everything's very circular and everything's very rounded, or sort of gives it a very safe and ridiculous vibe. But yeah, anyway, Rex is chasing, previous Rex is chasing this little creature through the woods, trying to eat it. And then suddenly he gets smashed in the fucking head by a time machine, which may or may not have been intentional on the time machine's part. But anyway, he then tries to attack the time machine. This little creature comes out and taunts him, which is like cruel because they've just ruined his dinner. And feeds him this stuff. They then trap him from the neck up in the time machine and force feed him more of this weird shit, which they tell you is called brain grain, which makes anyone smarter. He suddenly goes through this change. Notably, his eyes switch from the sides of his head to the front of his head, making him seem more humanoid. He turns into that more cartoonish animation style. He begins to be able to talk. But not only talk, he slowly figures out concepts that he shouldn't otherwise know. He's brought onto the ship. The creature, whose name escapes me but is voiced by Jay Leno, tells him that he's going to meet the captain soon and introduces him to the other dinosaurs. We are introduced to a Triceratops named Woog, fucking Apatosaurus called Dweeb. Honestly, those two serve zero purpose in the story. And very posh pterodactyl named Elsa. She barely serves any purpose in the story. Honestly, they could have just gone with Rex, and not much would have changed. Like, it's weird. Like, I get, like, they're one of the four of the different personalities. They've got the idiot, the hungry one, the charming one, and Rex, who is the character, has any depth to him. I should speed this up. I don't have much time left. Reason these might seem odd in length and sometimes hurried towards the end is because my camera has finite storage and I want to do these all in one take because I'm lazy. Anyway, Rex, they meet the captain, Captain New Eyes. I thought it was Dew Eyes first, like D-E-U, like morning dew. Would have made a lot more sense. And he introduces them, tells them that he's going to send them to the Museum of Natural History in New York. Shows them this dream machine, and all these kids are dreaming of fantastical things like, I want to see a dinosaur, I want to see a dinosaur. Apparently dinosaurs are the thing most wished for by children. No, just not even close. Like, top of my head, I want daddy to stop hitting me. I want daddy to stop hitting mummy. I want mummy to stop hitting me. I want mummy or daddy to stop touching me. I want food for, like, everywhere that's not a first world country. Just fucking... Anyway, he doesn't really care about those countries. Also, it's worth noting, he comes from a far-flung future where all the races of all the worlds had to learn to work together and live in harmony. Had to learn. Not chosen to. Into the elbow, guys. Safety. Anyway, he then drops them after telling them they need to go to the Museum of Natural History, and telling them they need to avoid his mischievous brother who goes throughout time and space, making problems for people and causing mischief, who is known as Professor Screw Eyes, who went mad after losing his eye. So, his brother's name is New Eye, and he decided, because that obviously used to be my name, probably, unless my brother has renamed himself in a horrific attempt to remind me of my constant agony, I'll call myself Professor Screw Eye. Why? We'll find out later. It's fucking insane. Anyway, he goes off, and he just drops them in the middle of, I think it's like the Manhattan Lake, not lake, it's like the sea between, the boroughs between Manhattan and the Bronx. Not a geographer, and I don't know America that well. Anyway, he drops them out of the plane with parachutes on, except for the flying one, who gets a boat. Because they're going to land in the water, because there wasn't a safer place to put them. You couldn't have just dropped them at the Museum of Natural History. Anyway, they fall out of the sky, and then we're introduced to another character. This character has made a machine on which serves him a fried egg sandwich without him having to do anything, and has built a boat to sail across from the Bronx. I don't know if it's to sail like where the Manhattan Bridge goes across, basically, so that he can find his way somewhere, assumedly. The dinosaurs crash on him, almost drown him, he gets real upset, they ruin his stereo, his skateboard, and destroy his watercraft. And he gets upset at them, and then he's like, oh wow, dinosaurs, that's cool, let's go together. They're like, we have to go to the Museum of Natural History. He's like, I want to go to join the circus, because I'm a child, and that's what we did in the 90s. We wanted to join the circus. It was a fucking weird time, honestly. Anyway, I'm speeding up a bit, because I'm running out of time. Anyway, he leads them off. He's just like, okay, we need to find a way to get you guys across town without everyone freaking out, because not everyone is a child and is accepting of dinosaurs. He rides the pterodactyl around for a bit, trying to find stuff. They land on the balcony with a crying girl. And introduce Cecilia Nutchurch. She is a charming young woman whose family has left her alone on Thanksgiving. Louis convinces her to come with them, but also Thanksgiving, for those who don't know or care because you're not in America, there is one Thanksgiving tradition that's really important to this movie, and that's the Macy's Day Parade in New York City. Basically, it's a huge parade with these big inflatable things. Perfect thing to sneak dinosaurs across town. Also in this movie, the dinosaurs' size is very wild and inconsistent, but I forgive that because they are currently cartoon creatures, and that's important later on. And a point I'm definitely not going to be able to get to in the end of this. So, they go into the parade and sing the most catchy songs I've ever heard in a children's movie. I can't remember the name of it, but basically John Goodman belts out this fucking epic. Everyone sings along. The crowd's like, oh yeah, we love this weird inflatable dinosaur animatronic. We guess we don't really understand what it is. It's definitely not a real dinosaur. Because when one child walks up to him and goes, it's a real dinosaur, the entire crowd loses their fucking minds. It's worth noting, most adults in this film are done in that very cartoony style. And the children and the professors are done in that realistic style. It's a weird choice that I think was intentional. Because this is from, I don't know, it's like the narration is kind of weird because it's done from a dinosaur's point of view, but I feel like if this movie was done from, if Lou was narrating it, it would make a lot more sense for the animation choice. Anyway, we go off. Dinosaurs are like, Louis, we'll meet you by Central Park, and he's just like, wink, or whatever. And Louis is like, okay, and they escape. The dinosaurs then find this sign. The circus in Central Park is Professor Squirrel Eyes. Oh no, he's the bad guy. We'll warn about him. I don't know if I told you back when I was explaining him. New Eyes specifically warned them about his brother, but still dropped them uncompanioned into the middle of New York. Go fucking figure. Anyway, there's a big police chase. It's just ridiculous. And then they get cornered by the army. Honestly, the police response time in this movie, like pre 9/11 New York, it's fucking fantastic. It's like 30 seconds to get like a cordon around these dinosaurs. It's proper good time. Anyway, Rex then saves the other dinosaurs by skateboarding on a pickup truck, and then we cut to Louie and Cecilia, who are currently in a very spooky looking Central Park, as they head towards the circus. They eventually find their way to the circus, just as the performance is ended, and Professor Screw Eyes is watching this clown's performance. This clown is not needed in the movie at all. He's just there for comedic relief. I guess it is a children's movie, so he's probably there to lighten the mood in the darker points of the movie and make the next 10-20 minutes not super depressing, which I guess they would be otherwise. Louis tells him he wants to join the circus. Professor Screw Eyes says only if you sign this contract in blood. The contract is blank and also conjured out of nowhere. Louis signs it, and then the contract fills in, and Louis like, oh, you tricked me, and he's just like, that's business, boy, or something. There's some evil lightning. Cecilia, then, not wanting Louis to be alone, pricks her hand with her hairpin and joins him. Anyway, the dinosaurs then arrive, and they're like, where are we going, kids? And he's just like, it turns out this contract lets me take over their willpower, and I've got this antidote to my brother's serum, which turns, basically de-evolves you, and turns them both into apes. I was quite happy that they didn't turn into, orangutans or baboons or something. They seemed to turn into some kind of midway ape, so it was actually a de-evolution. It wasn't they just turned into a random monkey or ape. Good note there. Anyway, I've only got 2 minutes left. Fuck, I'm running out of time. Cool. Basically, the dinosaurs are like, we'll stop you. And he's like, but the brain grain stops you from doing violence. Yeah, weird, right? Anyway, they then trade themselves for Louis, take the stuff, turn into their old selves. Louis and Cecilia stick around because they've got nowhere else to go and they want to free their friends. They meet with the clown. He's a clown. He wants to be involved in the circus, but Professor Screw-Eye doesn't want a comedy circus. It's like a horror circus. Anyway, the horror circus starts. People are screaming. Louis makes a weird one-liner about tonsils. And then the dinosaurs come out, but led by like 50 elephants who look really sad. And then unveiled, Professor Screw-Eye uses his magic screw eye. Oh, he's got an actual screw for an eye. To hypnotize Rex. And convince him that he is under his power. And then it's working until a crow lights off a flare, and I'm definitely going to have a part 2 of this. I'm going to stop rushing, because there's no way I can get to the end of my theories. So I guess, like I wanted to do, there will be a part 2 of this. We Are Back, a dinosaur story, starring John Goodman, and that crazy cowboy from the Dude Ranch episodes of Malcolm in the Middle. Alright, well, sign off phrase.